I'm calling this meeting to order. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Here.
Graziano?
Here.
Notari?
Here.
Robel?
Here.
Strumelberg?
Present.
Mayor Melham?
Here. Sunshine notice.
Sunshine notice. Pursuant to the requirements.
Is your microphone on, please?
Sorry. Is on? Pursuant to the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was published in the Thursday, July 1st, 2021 editions of the Belleville Times and Star Ledger. A copy of the annual meeting notice has been posted on the Belleville Town Hall bulletin board, and copies are on file in municipal clerk's office.
Pledge of allegiance. I'm going to have Deputy Chief Papiani come forward and lead us, please.
Salute.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Next item on our agenda is executive session. We do have to go into executive session for the topic of contract negotiations. No action will be taken while we're in executive session. I will entertain a motion now to go into executive session.
Motion. Second.
Motion made in second. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Notari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Melham?
Yes. At this time, I do need to clear the room.
All three of you? All three of you.
That's you, Gary.
Yep, got to clear the room.
Sorry.
We will be brief. Slide is up. Good. We're good. I just want to make sure the mics are muted. Slide is up. Promise, it was a quick executive session. No action was taken while we're in executive session. We're going to move on with the rest of the agenda. The next item on the agenda is the report of the manager. Mr. Manager, please make sure your microphone is on.
So a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving to everyone. Just I have one item I want to report. It's somewhat important, and unfortunately, PSE&G sent out invitations to the section of Belleville, which was at the Washington Avenue, 150. I'm sorry. I'll give you the exact address in a second. 701 Washington Avenue. They're doing a Zoom meeting. Unfortunately, it happens, they picked tonight at 6 o'clock. We have two people from Town Hall participating in the meeting or taking notes, and they promise that they're going to do it again. But this is in reference to the substation that they're proposing, and there comes a lot of information, and especially they want to show good faith that specifically around the 701 Washington Avenue area, residents were notified if they wanted to participate, they could come in. So we have already contacted PSC&G and said because it fell on a night that we had a town council meeting, if we could possibly have another one in the very near future. And they said, as much as they couldn't give me the date, they said they would definitely accommodate that request. Again, it is a very big project. It's going to have an impact on the neighborhood, and we want to be as transparent and give out as much information as possible. Thank you.
That's it.
Quick.
Quick.
Are we going to make comments to the chair?
Any questions for the manager, anybody?
Yeah, I have questions.
Take your time.
I know I sent you a video about the golf course and the dirt, and I mean, my understanding has been over the course of the last 10 years that you know, in my case where I have property, you can't touch anything within 300 feet of any wetlands. And I know like the minimum used to be 150, but now it's 300, and I'm just wondering what they're doing up there. I mean, the video basically shows them doing something.
Are you talking about the cemetery?
No, this is the golf course.
So, so the first thing I did was I checked with Bloomfield to see if they took out any permits, and spoke to Bloomfield Construction Department. They told me permits were not required to replace their fairway. So what they do at the end of the year, their fairways get beat up a lot, and some of them are nowhere near the river.
Yeah.
One particular hole, obviously, that's the hole
Right
that we
next
can
to the
all
river.
see. So they rip up, what they do is, they rip up the existing fairway. It's a pile of, dirt or whatever. They put the new fairway down, seed, and then they remove that. They don't feel that it came in anywhere near the river. They didn't think they did anything wrong. They didn't require a permit. And I know we have a call into DEP.
Right.
And DEP has committed to meeting us at the cemetery and at the golf
They
course.
should be at the golf course.
Just to review it. But again, the work that they were doing did not require a permit. Now, we're going to reconfirm the
Confirm it with the
DEP
DEP,
equation,
yeah.
what you said.
Well, definitely, I don't think you'd really require a permit from the perspective of a township, but you probably would require a permit from the DEP.
Right, possibly.
That's where I would see, since it is their jurisdiction.
Possibly that one hole.
Yeah.
Possibly one hole.
That one hole.
Because obviously, if they're replacing a fairway on the complete opposite side of and the river's nowhere near that, I don't think that's an issue.
The other thing I wanted to kind of just reiterate is the fact that we're not getting texts anymore, we're not getting updates on what's going on with the schedule, and we'd appreciate getting them. I guess a bunch of us have missed things that we should never have missed, and and things change on a daily basis, including this thing with Silver Lake, and I think the texts were the best way to get to us and inform us what's going on.
Want the group text?
Yeah.
After the last miscommunication on the Nicoletti
Yeah.
street naming, Jackie, myself, and Nicole put in an extra measure. So now Nicole, who is the texter,
Right.
is part of the mayor and council calendar. So
Yeah,
if
so,
the calendar goes out, I'm sorry.
no, you're right, but, I mean, everything is on a group calendar that we all have access to.
I don't have access to it, just so you know. I never got access to it. I tried to get access to it. I don't have access. Marie doesn't have
I
access.
don't have it either.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do
Johnson thing, right?
a double insurance.
Well, and to me,
Johnson.
it's like the way things are changing, during the week, even if you put it on the calendar, like I know for a fact that Silver Lake thing was not on the calendar. And there will be
The
things,
Silver Lake
hospital.
Hospital was not
And
on
there's things that aren't going to be on the calendar that we need to update, the council. It's a council of 7.
And I
not a
wasn't,
council of
I
1 or
wasn't
2.
invited either.
So,
I was right up the block.
anyway,
So, okay.
I'm good.
Well, maybe we could.
Not everything is a town event either, so, I mean, as mayor, I'm invited to different places that I go, and I don't ask the person inviting me, well, did you invite the entire council? It ends up on my calendar, I get an invite, and I show up. So it's kind of sometimes also up to the hosting organization to also cast the water net if they want the entire council there.
But I also think that if something's in somebody's ward or pertinent to somebody's ward, they should be included in those meetings.
Newark
which
is
I-
not in her-
No,
Newark is
it's
not-
close to Silver Lake. I'm saying pertinent, close to.
So now, what's the radius that we
And,
should?
well, as long as it's close to us, I don't give a crap.
If they don't
you know,
choose to invite you.
Mike,
I
and
don't
it's
know what
not,
to
it's
tell
not
you.
even that. It's like meetings that go on in our wards that we're not even privy to. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff going on.
Okay.
But I'd appreciate, being.
I think the group calendar
notified.
works great.
Maybe Anthony could help them set up the Outlook on their,
I know
Computers are
emails
on
did
their
go out
phones
to
or
every
whatever.
elected official when we first did that, with Johnson CC'd on that email to help anybody that needed help doing that.
I don't care about the calendar. The calendar is not always current, and that's the problem. I believe the texts are current, and they're more immediate, and we should be getting them. That's what
Sounds
I'm
good.
asking for.
Manager, you have direction. Anything else for the manager? No? All right, next item on our agenda, report of the mayor. Manager said it, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We're going to have a short week this week. Wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Applications for our winter sports programs, basketball, cheer, and wrestling are on our website, as well as our arts and crafts program that was always very successful, that's now back. Our seniors should be happy. We have some nice programming happening for them. We've now incorporated Tai Chi and yoga on Tuesday mornings, 9 to 10, and we now have Zumba and regular aerobics on Thursday from 9 to 10. So far, we've had good turnout, and we're glad to be able to offer our seniors some programming. Upcoming events that we have, next Tuesday, speaking of the calendar, Mr. Manager, this could be the first item on the agenda. We have a futsal field dedication at 2 o'clock. I believe it's already on the calendar, so if you could get your texts going for that. I'm looking here, yes, I have that on my calendar. So Tuesday at 2 o'clock, down by number 9 school, is a futsal field, a brand-new recreational turf facility that we got at zero taxpayer expense. We also have our Christmas tree lighting. We changed that a couple years ago to a Christmas tree lighting. That's going to be December 18th. It's a Saturday evening. And Jackie or Mr. Manager, help me out, 3 Kings Day, January 6th. We have 3 Kings Day scheduled for January 6th, it will once again be a drive-through. So our next two big events are December 18th, Christmas tree lighting, and the Three Kings Day event on the 6th. Some past stuff, yesterday we had a Lebanese flag raising here at Town Hall. I also participated in Patterson's later on that evening. As we heard discussed here already, we had a street dedication also on the weekend. And also on November 11th, I want to thank Ms. Gabby Bennett-Meany, who's here today. She assisted the Belleville High School science class. They were in the Third River. I was in the Third River with them. They were doing a little cleanup and a water testing, water quality testing. And day before that was a big week for the Third River. Day before that, I attended Mayor Tucci's Third River meeting. He had various mayors there. And again, that's another example of sometimes
It's a mayor.
I'm actually invited to things, and so I was also there. That night was a Thursday evening. It's nice to be able to get different mayors together, and there were some staffers there, actually, for that. So I think everything's going well. That's it for my abbreviated mayor's report this week. So next up, we have approval of minutes.
You got any minutes?
No minutes.
No minutes.
Next item on the agenda is communications.
Communications. Memo received from Kathy Walsh, Chairman of the Rent Leveling Board, stating that the board is in need of the following appointments: one single-family homeowner, one tenant, one alternative single-family homeowner, and one alternative landlord. That's it.
Okay. Members of the council, you have noticed that the Rent Leveling Board is looking for members. Next item on the agenda is ordinances. Ordinances for introduction.
Ordinance for introduction, one, an ordinance to amend the revised general ordinance of the Township of Belleville, Chapter 8-8, entitled Designated Loading Zones.
Motion to introduce?
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to introduce. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Natori? Yes. Rovell?
Yes.
Strumelob Burke?
Yes.
Mayor Melham?
Yes. Need a motion to open public comments?
Motion.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to open public comments. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Natori?
Yes.
Rovell?
Yes.
Strumelob Burke?
Yes.
Mayor Melham?
Yes. Mrs. Frantantoni, going to ask everybody to please come forward, state your name and address for the record. Chief, can you just make sure that microphone is turned on, please?
I thought you were locking me up. Phyllis Frantantoni, Mount Prospect Avenue. I see on Sunday we had a water main break in the valley. Now, you do robocalls all over the place, and you can section out a place to call. Our business was affected and our tenants, and nobody knew it. We were getting calls left and right from our tenants. We had no water. Our laundromat had no water when people put their clothes in there and no soap. So I would think that when something like that happens, maybe you could notify the merchants or some way that we know what's going on and not go nuts looking for why we have no water. Went through the whole building, up, down, testing everything, not knowing there was a water main break until later on during the day. So please look into that, and if it happens again, notify the merchants and the tenants. And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. So, Mrs. Frantantoni, you are absolutely correct. I also am on the other side of the receiving end of that, because I get calls, texts, emails, messages on social media, and then the manager hears my frustration, just like we just heard your frustration, and he's already, and in defense, a robocall to 38,000 people or 10,000 people on our list townwide, early in the morning, in the middle of the night, would be very disruptive, because only a small percentage of people were affected. But I informed the manager that it was my belief that we have the ability to
target.
segment and target.
We have
They're now
ability to
looking
target.
more into that to alleviate that. I totally agree with you, though. Right, Mr. Manager?
100%.
Thank you. Mr. Hinton?
Gary Hinton, 307 Fairway Avenue. Any word from the DEP?
Yes. We don't have an exact date and time yet. I reached out to Senator Ruiz's office. Manager's been on the emails. They've been in contact with DEP. DEP has committed, yes, they're coming. We're just waiting on the exact date and time for that. They do know that we are going to stage in the Bridgebrook parking lot. They do know we're going to go into the river. They do know we're going over to the cemetery, and they do know they're going to get a look at the golf course.
Okay. So they've been building in floodplains for years just to get the tax dollars, all right? They got to stop building in these floodplains. All this here, studies they're doing, everything is just a waste of money, all right? The FEMA, I got flood insurance. It's been almost 3 months now. I'm still fighting with them to try to get some money out of them for my damages. They run you through the ringer, drive you crazy, and it's ridiculous. The golf course, filling in all week long, 35 trucks a day, tandem trucks dumping dirt, filling in down on all along the river, huge piles right along the rivers, and they're spreading it all, raising the land level there. Tom Hurts was at the cemetery when they were filling in at the cemetery, all right? I've contacted Bloomfield. I put in OPA requests in Bloomfield, Belleville, the Essex County Soil Conservation, no permits for none of this. How the hell can they sit there and fill that in, and Tom Hurts be standing there with us and letting them do this with no permits? All right? We're being affected, and you need to do something. I've been on the phone with DEP, and they shuffled you around with the phone calls from this number to that number to number. When you get down to the last number, okay, hold on a minute, and they leave you on holding on the line. It's ridiculous. We're not getting no action from our town council, from
I
DEP.
do disagree with that.
User content. I've been through this for 25, 30 years.
And I don't doubt that. I don't.
And trying to deal, when you were on the other side over here, you know what you go through, trying to get something accomplished.
But I'm on this side now, and I know
I
that a lot of us
understand that.
are
That's
are
why
working
I'm
towards this.
pleading with you to hope that we could get something done. When you came up with the Passaic Valley sewage, I wish that you would have called me. I thought you were going to call me, and I would have met you, and I would have showed you the stuff that I talk about, not just down where you was examined by the playground there, all right? Something needs to be done about this. If nothing's going to get done from all these different agencies that are supposed to be there for us, helping us, why don't you give everybody a tax cut? Cut our taxes in half, that we got to pay all this insurance money for FEMA, and we go crazy trying to get money out of them. It's ridiculous. And I hope that something could get done, and I'm going to keep on going and keep on fighting. I'm not going to give up. Something needs to be done.
Okay.
I hope, and I appreciate anything that you're doing. You know, I'm not looking to point blame on anybody, but it's getting ridiculous. It really is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as I said during the report, and now you heard again, the DEP has been in contact. We're not getting shuffled. We have direct relations and direct contacts with them. We have a commitment and a promise from them to be there. Myself, Councilman Graziano, Councilman Ravel, we've all been on site. I've been in the river multiple times. We've had the high school there. We've had Passaic Valley there. Now the DEP's coming.
Can I be there with that?
Sure, when we know. Yeah, we don't have a date yet. Anybody else? Mr. Frantantoni?
Vincent Frantantoni, 129 Mount Prospect. You know, you could talk all you want, but what we need is action, and sometimes we need inaction. Now, you've got a project, you're approving and all, William and Washington. That project affects these people up on Fairway Avenue. Because every bit, I was at the planning board meeting, I asked the architect, you had the big plans up there on the wall, where's the pervious area? It was like a 1/4 inch at the top of the plan there, nothing. Every time you remove impervious area and build these monster human cages that look like army barracks, that water has to go somewhere. So it goes down into, I'm putting a new pipe, the engineer said, where? Into where? Into the storm sewer. And where's that go? He didn't even know. I said, well, it goes to the Passaic River. So you put 100 gallons of water from there into the Passaic River, that's 100 gallons coming from Fairway that can't get down there. And that exacerbates it. You have a project coming up here, and some of these people, I get it because they don't know who they're sending it to because I'm a contractor. You got this abortion going up here. They want, December 7th, I think they're going before the planning board on Greenwich, right down the street here, Greenwich and William. That's another problem that's going to create flooding for these people on Fairway and all the way up the river. Because, look, they send me all the pictures on this here. First of all, I don't know how they know. The thing is, it didn't even come before the board yet, but they have that 5-year tax abatement has been granted, all right? A plenary liquor license is available for the site. How did these people know? This is a real estate agent saying it's already been approved. It didn't even go before the board yet. But then they send me the pictures, and what's there now? Something I'm very familiar with because I used to work for the owner of that two-family house. It's an old two-family house. I did a lot of repairs there for them and all. And the old metal auto body shop next door. Go take a look at it, folks. Maybe some of you can't see it, and I go tomorrow morning. It's 30 to 40% pervious area. Look at all the grass between the house and the other one. And look at the monster they're proposing. A 6-story, not a 5-story, a 6-story on every square inch of land. So you're replacing all that pervious area, which is grass, which absorbs water. And my 18 years on the Passaic River Coalition, I learned 1 square foot of grass absorbs about 6.5 gallons of water. So all that grass is taken away with these monster cages. That's what they are. So the other thing now that's going on, the record, since Sunday, they're doing a 5-page report, a 5-article report. It started Sunday. Today's the 3rd day, 2 more days. All about overdevelopment in New Jersey. You, Mr. Mayor, you are a technical wizard and all that. You're able to get this, I'm sure, on the computer or something, right? You could do it. I try to get it. I get it. Someone help me get it on the computer. You can get it and get to the other two. It should be mandatory reading for every one of your planning board members because you read the first 3 articles, all this flooding in New Jersey is overdevelopment. Overdevelopment, you're reading on here. We're paving over farms. We're paving over what used to be somebody's backyard and all that, with asphalt and roofs and all that. And so they say global warming. Well, the phonies, you know, the environmentalists, they eliminated global warming a few years ago, and now they call it climate change because they know they were wrong with global warming. But this is what creates it. So you built on every square inch of land. The water has nowhere to go but down to the river, and everybody upstream suffers for it and all that. So this should be, this 5-section article, 5-part article, should be mandatory reading for every member of your planning board. I lambasted them the last meeting. They approved another one. They approved the one, the mattress factory, the foam rubber factory, all right? Property line to property line. You have one board member, Mr. Conte, at the end there, he says, what are we doing with all this development? What are we doing? Why are we going with all this development? And guess what? He then votes for it.
I do need to
This is
wrap up.
going on. What, are you going to do anything about this? Are you going to get your planning board members, some are so-called environmentalists, to realize you can't approve these projects like this anymore? They're taking, we had a pervious area in our zoning orders for 30%. What did you do, Mr. Mayor? You eliminated it all? So to hell with the people in Fairway and everybody else, not only in Belleville all the
You need
way.
to wrap up, Mr. Antoni.
Let them flood. We are developers, and again,
Mr. Frantantoni, I do need you to wrap up. Thank you.
what's going on is that they know, if a real estate know it's pre-approved, was somebody taken care of?
Okay.
You know, this is what's going on.
That's
So I
very good
hope
to
you
know.
tell these planning board members got to wake up, and this council, because there I go to planning board,
Tony,
and
I
they say
appreciate
the
your time,
council
but
approved it,
time
all right?
is expired. Thank you.
It's one more
Anybody else
thing.
for public commenting?
Your planning board chairman, excuse me, Mr. Mayor, should resign.
Thank you.
Because he's approving this, he's got a conflict in it. Then his family and his cousins
Frantantoni,
are doing all the
thank you.
dirt hauling for these projects that he approves. He ought to step down.
Thank you. Anybody else for public commenting? No, I'll entertain a motion to close public
Motion to
commenting.
close?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to close public commenting. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Natori?
Yes.
Rovell?
Yes.
Strumelob Burke?
Yes.
Mayor Melham?
Yes. Consent agenda, any,
I just want to pull 7.
7 is pulled. Anybody else? No? I will entertain a motion to move the consent agenda with the exception of item number 7.
So moved. Second. What happened? Oh, it's public comment?
Yeah. So, yep, I got it.
At the end.
Never mind.
We're going to,
Go back in.
let's just go back. I'm going to go back into public commenting. Do we have a public
Motion to go
comment?
back.
Public comment?
Do we have a public comment?
Yeah, we have an
Public
email comment.
Oh.
There's been an
Comment.
email comment.
I thought it was for the last, okay.
So let's just go back in. Motion to re-enter public
Motion,
comments.
re-enter.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we're back in public commenting. We did have one public comment that came in via email. Can I have the clerk read it?
This public comment email coming from Carmela Flushman, 833 Main Street. Hi, can you please give me an explanation of resolution number 6 regarding the Belleville Industrial Center? Thank you.
It's a right of entry.
Yep,
to
it's right of entry. You want to take
Belleville
that out?
Industrial Center.
So this is just I spoke to Dean this afternoon about this. This is a requirement to, in order for us to go on their property, it's like an indemnification clause. So obviously, we're not going to damage any property by going on the property, but it's just a formality that we have to,
Give them
they ask for
Hold
indemnification.
basically hold harmless stuff.
Okay, I accept that answer. And the
Motion to
motion to
go.
close?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to close public commenting. All in favor?
Aye.
Now we're back to resolutions. Councilman Ravel's pulled number 7. Do we have anything else to
6.
remove from consent?
You got pull 6.
6.
Gotta pull 6. huh?
Yeah, I can't skip vote on it, so.
We have items 6 and 7 pulled. Anything else? Okay, I will entertain a motion to move the consent agenda without items 6 and 7.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Natori?
Yes.
Rovell?
Yes.
Strumelob Burke?
Yes.
Mayor Melham?
Yes. Item number 6.
Just a roll call.
Motion to move 6.
Need a second?
Second. Second.
I can't
Oh.
have those.
Somebody second.
Somebody
Somebody say
second
second. All right, we have a motion made and second for item number 6. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Abstain.
Graziano?
Yes.
Natori?
Yes.
Rovell?
Yes.
Strumelob Burke?
Yes.
Mayor Melham?
Yes. Item number 7.
Motion to move 7. I just want to make a comment and see if we could also amend that. This is the resolution, you know, about the DEP and the flooding in the Third River, but I was wondering if we could also add FEMA to this.
Sure.
I mean, I think we should, as a council, get in touch with these people and let them know what we're feeling.
Sounds good to me. We have motion number 7 has been amended to add FEMA.
So I move it.
Second.
Motion made and second. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Natori?
Yes.
Rovell?
Yes.
Strumelob Burke?
Yes.
Mayor Melham?
Yes. Next item on the agenda, new business. Hearing none, seeing none.
Motion close.
Motion to adjourn. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.